Hi, I'm Wendy Rahamat.
I'm ADARA.
And I'm ALEYA.
And this is Next Gen Cooking. So today we've got a millennial and a Gen Z, and we're mixing it up today. And I think we're going to talk a little bit about baking today.
Okay,
What do you all think? I grew up loving to bake. I used to bake, therapeutically or for fun on the weekends. My mother used to allow me to bake. Everything, most of the stuff came out really bad, but still, she had that little bit of confidence in me, or maybe she just wanted to get rid of me. Adara, you like to bake cookies, right?
Well, yeah, because I really like to eat cookies.
Okay.
So yeah, she's a
I
cookie
used to
lover.
make brownies and stuff, but I realized I just really like cookies. So.
Yeah, so she loves cookies.
That's
I
what
used
I
to like cookies, but I don't know. I moved away to more bready things now. But
Yeah, I'm not good with dough. Can't make bread or cinnamon rolls, that kind of thing.
Oh, I make cinnamon rolls actually. I was telling your mom this morning. So I do make cinnamon rolls, but it was trial and error. So I'm not very fond of baking because I feel like it's a science.
Yeah, you
Whereas with
can't.
cooking, you can experiment in the kitchen.
baking is a science.
Yeah, if you need more salt,
You have to measure accurately to get the best ingredients.
Restriction with it.
And you have to start with a good recipe, So once you have those in hand, you're pretty okay.
Yeah.
So you are an attorney, you were telling me,
Yes, I am.
and a closet baker.
Yeah. So I have a business that I started in 2020.
Right.
Baking cinnamon rolls. Right, but it didn't start off, didn't start too well. It was a process. But now I think I'm, a lot more confident in it. So I do it like on the side.
So it's nice to have two types of income. I always think it's nice to have your fingers in different pots because you could balance yourself. And for me, baking is very therapeutic. Cooking I love to do, but baking is very therapeutic because you start with like flour, water, and whatever, and it just molds into these amazing, beautiful things.
And it's really nice to present as well. When you finish cooking, you can see a nice little treat set up on the table. It feels good.
I like to eat them.
Yeah, I don't actually. I don't have
Really?
a sweet tooth. No,
You
I
don't have a sweet tooth?
No.
Oh my god, I have a
Yeah,
huge
we could
savory
make savory
person.
bread, cheesy
Yeah.
things.
I'm a huge sweet person.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not me at all.
I'll never say no to cinnamon rolls.
I'll have to bring some for you next time then.
Perfect.
So what's your other than cinnamon rolls? Do you dabble in the kitchen at all?
I do, yes. I cook a lot. It started with my dad. So he's a pescatarian. So I prepared salmon for him once and it came out really good. And my family is in cooking as well. We have a few food places.
Yeah, nice.
So, that really fostered my love for
Right,
cooking
of
and
course.
passion for it. So I actually did want it. I wanted to be a chef.
Right.
And I applied for culinary school when I was finished with Form 6 at Le Cordon Bleu in France. When I was 16, I got like a 2 in France, so it wasn't the best, and I had like no family or friends. So mommy said, do something else first, and then if you still have the passion for cooking, you could get into it later on. So that is how I got into law. But it's something that I still enjoy doing, and I do it all the time. I would
That's
cook,
great.
yeah.
Because I find it very therapeutic,
It
and
is.
Yeah.
You don't bake for therapy.
I bake because
She bakes for cravings.
yeah, because I bake if I want cookies.
Okay.
Basically, or I mean, if I see things that I really like, I was like,
Yeah.
I'll try it or whatever.
It's nice to share too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
some cookies, I
that's
say
what I'm
pass it some,
saying.
yeah.
It's
I
very
like that.
interesting because your generations, you all see and eat and smell and inhale food through social media,
Yes.
Instagram. Because I know Adara would send me these pictures. Oh, we should make this, and now I started to
Yes.
see pictures and I send it to. We should make this. But
Yeah.
when I grew up, I used to just pour over recipe books, and just see things and read recipes and I think really and truly the key to becoming a good baker or cook is really having a good recipe. And
Correct.
I think
yeah.
sometimes we get fooled up on YouTube. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree with you because as I was mentioning, like I was using YouTube for a cinnamon roll recipe and I followed everything to a T and it came out like cinnamon bake. Everybody was laughing at me. It was so terrible, so I couldn't understand, but I realized that
It's just
you
bad
have to go in the
recipes.
kitchen, you need to find like an old-fashioned recipe, stick to it and then
Yeah, it
experiment.
takes a while to be able to read a recipe and understand if it's going to actually work or not. So then I always tell people, arm yourself with a master baker or a master cook. Get the cookbook and use that as your guide.
I feel
Because
like you have to know that though. You have to know that there's a difference between a good recipe and a bad recipe. Otherwise,
Yeah.
if you don't know that, you're just gonna go and follow whatever
Waste
recipe.
time.
Especially if you're making something and you've never had before. You're gonna assume, oh, this is how it's supposed to
But
come
yes,
out.
that's true.
yeah, it's hard because there's so much stuff coming at you with the internet now. Social media is like really mass.
And especially TikTok,
Overload.
there's a lot of food
Yes,
on TikTok.
I got a lot
Oh my
of really
God.
ideas from TikTok. I really
Yeah,
do.
it's
And
good for
obsessed with it.
ideas, but I don't know how good it is for recipes. I mean, I've
Because-
seen. Sorry,
Go ahead.
I've seen a few videos of people baking things, cooking things. Like, okay, I wonder if this is a good recipe, boy.
I tried something once, so that is very correct. So I was following this page on TikTok, and she makes Japanese. It's like a cheesecake, so they call it castello. And
Is that
it was
the big
looking so
fluffy
good,
one?
yeah, nice and fluffy like a good.
The
yeah,
jiggly
good.
one,
Yeah,
And
I've
I tried
had
it.
that. It's so
and
good.
I went to and I tried that, and I literally took a bite, and I was like, "Mommy, like we can't eat it." It was tasting like raw eggs to me. It
yeah.
was so terrible. I was like,
Like fresh
on
or
TikTok,
something.
it was looking so good, and
Yeah.
but then when I was reading through a lot of comments, and people started saying, it was tasting very eggy. I was like, oh, there we go. That's when the
I feel
issue
like
came
that's a good thing about like
Yeah.
social media, because if you have a recipe, you read the comments, people will
people
say if
call
it's
you
good or
out.
not. Yeah.
Or if you
Which is
follow a
good.
really good newspaper,
Mm-hmm.
and you follow recipes, usually people would comment at the end. So you'll get a guide from that. Oh, this has too much sugar. This has
Yes.
too much butter.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
think
a,
you sell recipes in a newspaper.
well, yeah, I do. Still
Yeah,
on
because I
a
used to watch you on a
Saturday.
Sunday evening on TV6. So I was younger, so I used to watch it and I used to like cut it out from the Sunday people used to have it. So yeah, I used
Yeah.
to really follow it on.
Well, I have it in the newsday on a Saturday.
Okay.
So yeah. But I am a recipe person. I would keep a recipe book. And many recipe books, as you would know. I have hundreds of
She
recipe
has
books.
like from floor to ceiling,
Really?
yeah, bookshelf, like a whole wall of
That was nice.
rows and rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of cookbooks. Like, what are you gonna do? You do not use all of these.
Yeah.
But-
They're just nice
You
to have.
100%.
No, there are cookbooks that you have. To me, if I have a cookbook and I have 2 recipes I will make all the time, it's worth it. So I take
Okay.
that recipe and then I make notes on it too, So next time you go, oh, okay, you can do this.
Yeah, so I have like a few cookbooks, but a lot of them like international. So a lot of the recipes or ingredients that you don't normally have
Yeah.
in your refrigerator. So it's like, okay, I need to start investing in more local cookbooks and local options.
So looking at our supermarkets, we're almost, I would say 75-25 in favor of imported. And we're always trying to bring down our food import bill. But when you shop, like, how do you manage it? Things are very expensive
They
now.
are. So most times when the market produce, I would go to the market to
Right.
get it and not the supermarket at all.
Right.
But I think, yeah,
When you're buying
Okay,
things like, say,
okay.
cheese that's expensive
yeah.
and you want a special cheese, will you put out for that or?
I would, and I'll buy it in bulk most
Right,
times. So
okay.
when you buy it in bulk, it's a lot cheaper as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, because when you buy the smaller packs, sometimes so like mozzarella cheese, for instance, is really expensive.
It is.
Yeah, the
Get
imported
like a
cheese
big
is very
pack full of
expensive.
cheaper.
Yeah.
Cheese is expensive, but cheese is a good product though. So if you're buying a good quality cheese,
Yeah.
some things I think you could put out for. Other things it's like really ridiculous,
But if you're baking with it and cooking with it, it's not gonna last long. So it's
No.
like it's easier to just, yeah.
Yeah, and you find sourcing ingredients for if you like to cook things, it's always available.
For the most part, I would say yeah. Because I use a lot of flour, so there's always flour. Some of the other things is just a matter of okay, I need to purchase this right now because sometimes it might be expensive.
Right.
So I use like a lot of strawberries and cream cheese. I wish that they were cheaper.
I don't know
local
why
alternatives,
people
but
love strawberries.
I-
Strawberries has become
everybody
like
loves
the
it so
national
much, but
fruit.
yeah,
Well, we
me
have to
too.
move beyond that
But
strawberry
I feel like
mindset.
just because if something has strawberries in it or the
Yeah.
name, it probably sells
That's the market
faster.
value, yeah.
Yeah, and people will pay more for that. Otherwise, like if you're charging so much for, I don't know, something that's
Correct.
just cinnamon, or if it has strawberries in it, you can automatically charge maybe $10, $15 more just
because
Yeah,
for
but
strawberry
that
products
are
that
much
strawberry
cheaper.
mindset only happened in the last, I would say 10-15 years, right?
And
So,
because of how
or
social
10
media
years.
like brought us closer to like America and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
No,
you always
it's
see
not
pussies
social
eating
media, it's-
strawberries and
No, but I think
whatnot.
she-
like
yeah,
you
she's
want
right.
it. Yeah. So
Yeah,
like
you're
the local
right.
fruit's not good enough because when the foreigners come, they want local fruits, but we want their fruits,
Yeah.
So I think it's like what is close to
No,
you,
I
actually
think
not
sometimes that
expensive.
the younger generation is not taught to appreciate
Yeah.
our local
Yeah.
fruits.
Because I
That's
didn't
the
realize
problem.
that, because I grew up with you and obviously I only got those fruits if we went to Canada or New York or
Yeah.
whatever. We never really bought. We had maybe frozen fruits every so often, but I never grew up with it as a constant in the household. It was a culture shock to me, I guess, when I realized from other people talking to other people that strawberries is like normal in
Yeah.
some people's
It's like their mango
households.
equivalent.
Yeah, and it's like they would just go in the fridge and eat
Yeah.
some strawberries. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Because I just don't think they taste that great either.
Just
Right.
like a mindset. It's just so true because
Yeah.
when I went to St. Lucia, I was at a hotel and they had mangoes for breakfast. And all the foreigners would take the mangoes. But first, it's like, that's Julie mango. You can get it by granny when you go home.
No, I
but for
would
them,
take
I
the
know it
mango.
was like a big thing to try the mango and whatnot. So,
But for me, I think I always go for the local option. just because I like to reduce the carbon footprint
Yeah.
of my so I go for that because I know it hasn't traveled and I know
Okay.
it's gonna be fresh and good and stuff like that. So
Well, today we're going to be baking something healthy. We have some oat bran flakes. Do you eat cereal?
I do.
So we
yeah, I
have-
like oat bran actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So we have some oat bran flakes. So I thought maybe we could incorporate it into a nice
Okay.
savory scone or like a drop scone. So you just all mix together. So let's go and do that now because I'm pretty sure it's going to taste good.
sounds good.
Wow! Your favorite Sunshine granola is now in a convenient resealable pouch. Sunshine cereals got the granola you know and love in a bright new bag. Crunchy clusters of whole grain oats and sunflower seeds in 4 delicious varieties. Crisp rice, juicy raisins and cranberries, cornflakes and peanut, and wheat flakes and cinnamon. Enjoy some now, reseal, then come back later for more crunchy goodness. Sunshine cereals, your favorite granola.
So we're going to make some savory scones, like I said, and we're going to make them healthy by adding some oat bran flakes to the mix. So I really like cereal, but I look for the healthy option.
Yes.
So this is really nice and light, flaky, and it's not a lot of sugar. And that's what I look for in healthy cereals. I tend to look for the amount of sugar. So, and then, we may have a box and you find you may have forgotten or you want to eat it more, incorporate it more. So it's a great way to incorporate it into your baked goods like bread. You can even put it into muffins, but today we're going to do a savory scone. So I'm going to start by softening this up in some milk, right? So if you want to pour the milk into the Pyrex dish there,
This one or this one? This one.
right? And then we would maybe measure about a cup. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Measure about a cup of those flakes. Put them into the milk, right?
Oops. I can measure. I'm good at this.
You can do it. So that's just to soften it up so that when we add
Oh my
it
god,
to
it's
the
going
flour-
everywhere. My bad.
Is it not?
Yeah, we're putting it into the milk. So that's just going to sit down there for a while. Put it in. Don't stir it. Just leave it. That's fine. It's gonna. Right. We can put these into the.
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
the table is
Ooh,
clean.
very nice. Okay, so what we're going to do with this is also spice it up. So I'm putting a different twist onto it. So cheese. We're going to put some cumin seed. So everybody knows what cumin is, right?
Yes.
Jeera seed. Most familiar in our
Curry.
Oh no, this is the ground one. I'm
aloo
talking about this
pie, roti. But we're going to toast up some of this now.
one. Oh, the seeds.
Yeah. So
How much do you
how do
want?
you toast? Just put a little bit in there. A little more. Good. Ooh, okay. Yeah. So really and truly, how you toast cumin seed is you just leave it in a dry pot. You don't need to put oil or butter and let it pop and smell. And actually, that's a great way to intensify flavors that you may buy in seeds because when you warm it up, it just activates the oils and makes it so much more fragrant and flavorful. So I'll give you all that little tip, right? And I
Yes.
won't charge you all for that. So now we've got that in there. That's softening up. You may want to put the flour into the bowl now. So for this, we add in some flour. Let me cut this back.
How much flour is this?
It's about 2 cups. That's all-purpose flour.
About 2 cups.
2 cups. Yes, and you want to put some rising agent, of course.
That's the.
Got
What is
about
that? Baking
2
soda.
2 teaspoons of baking powder and about a half a teaspoon of baking soda. And we want to also put in some black pepper because I think black pepper adds a lot of interesting flavor and a bite to your baked goods. So
Put all the dry ingredients fixed.
yes, so
Let me
mixing
mix that
that up.
Go ahead. Okay. You're the baker.
And then you want to put, I've got a mixture of some shortening there and some butter. So you may want to put that in.
Put it for me.
You want me to put that?
And you want to mix it so that it's incorporated into the flour.
Sorry.
Right? Just use your spatula.
Oh, I'll just.
Right, there you go. So it's already softened, which is good. So you just want to sort of mix it up. Right.
I'm gonna bring it closer to you.
And can you smell that cumin seed now?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm not going to grind this up. I'm going to put it in whole into the into the mixture. Now the thing with cumin, you can roast it as dark or as light as you like. So if you want a really intense flavor, like if you're making aloo pies, I put it a little darker. But if I want to keep this, like I would grind up a whole bit on my own, keep it in my cupboard for multi-purpose uses, I would do it like a medium. Right? So I'm going to throw a little bit of this in here now.
I've actually never baked with cumin before.
Yeah.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, lovely. It's going to add a lovely
I don't think
flavor.
I have either. Like I don't think I've had anything with cumin.
Yeah, it beats good.
So we can go ahead.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and add. We've got some chopped pimentos and some thyme. Lovely. Good. So, Adara, you want to check how soft the milk is with the cereal?
Yeah, let me just get a spoon. Right. Oh, perfect. That worked.
Well, you may want to use a whisk because you want to whisk in the egg into that too. Is it soft?
Not that soft yet.
Okay, well, we leave it for a few more minutes. I think that's good. It's nice and grainy.
Yes.
Good. Nice. So it looks like this cereal is nicely softened in the milk. So let's add one egg to that and beat it up.
And what if you want to make this eggless?
You could leave out the egg.
Okay.
Egg brings moistness and tenderness, so there's enough fat in here to make it pretty okay.
You said your dad was pescatarian.
Yeah.
So does he not eat eggs?
He's like,
Okay, no, just ask
really
him.
pescatarian. But yeah.
So we're gonna put a little salt into here.
Yeah, that's good.
No, not all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we good. Right, so
Just goes into here.
yes, we mix it all up together. And we're going to stir that gently because it's a scone, and we want to put in some cheese, right?
Nice.
So
Like cheese makes everything better.
I was just going to say the same thing. Cheese makes everything taste better.
The more
and,
cheese, the better.
and maybe a few drops of orange bitters, Adara. I think that would go really nice and contrast against the cumin.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
I love how it smells.
Yes.
great. Perfect. So that mixture's coming together nice. And when you're making scones, you don't want to over mix, right? So once you get all the flour incorporated in there, and we're using all-purpose flour. That's lovely. And how do you think you guys would enjoy this?
I will, because it's like very simple ingredients.
Or would you eat it with a
Right,
meal?
yeah.
Would you eat it for breakfast?
I would just eat it just like that. As a
Yes.
snack.
Yeah. I'll eat it for breakfast,
I mean-
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Great, perfect.
After
So we want to drop those on here now. 2 spoons. Okay, so let me show you. So I would kind of round it up on the spoon like so, and just drop it out. So this is going to go into about a 375 oven for about 15 minutes, and then we'll see how they came out.
Sounds good.
So our cheesy scones with oat bran flakes are out of the oven.
I smell amazing.
Yes, it does.
Don't they look great? How about we try one?
Okay.
Here.
I'll try them. I'll try it.
It's soft.
Very good. You got in the cumin. I think that's quite delicious.
It's really strong. It's really good.
Huh? So on that positive note, we'll see you next time.